Hey everyone, I'm Deborah Evans
I'm Xander.
and welcome to Team Limitless. It's really awesome to have you guys here. We thought we would introduce ourselves a bit for some of you that don't know us and also take you through a little training that we are preparing to deliver to the wider group about the art of conversation and making offers. So we'd like to take a quick look, but a powerful look at how social media and especially Facebook can help you grow your LifeWave business by connecting with people in a way that feels natural and easy to you. So, just a little bit about us. We have an online brand called Rock the Boat, and Xander and I have both come from a corporate background in IT. I've got a bachelor in design, so I'm quite creative. And when I left the rat race about 10 years ago, I actually birthed my business, Who's by Design, at the same time that I birthed our son, Morgan. So now it's 11 years ago now. So I taught myself web design. I'm a website and brand designer, and I've been in that business for myself for that long. And I'm self-taught in online marketing to the point where I've become pretty adept at helping newbies get started with it online. And we both have a bit of a knack for helping take away the tech overwhelm for people who aren't comfortable online. So between us in the past year, we've created a number of courses designed to take people from zero to hero in launching their online venture and thrive doing it. So today we'd love to talk about the art of conversation and making an offer with a focus on doing this online, but I mean the principles are obviously apply offline too. So, here's a question for you. Would you propose to someone on a first date?
Did I?
No,
No, okay.
definitely. I bet no, you did propose. So, yeah, do you find it? Here's some questions for you. Do you find it easier to invite people to your opportunity when you're in person, face to face? Or maybe how do you feel about it when you do it over the phone, inviting them to a Zoom or something like that? Or how about a voice message? I quite like voice messages. I like to leave people a voice message and invite them along to an opportunity call or an event. Or maybe as a text message. Do you just feel more comfortable texting people? Because in a way, it's easier, isn't it, to proposition people online because when it's not face to face, because with the face to face, we have the potential rejection up close and personal, and we all dread that. But in network marketing, this is effectively what a lot of people are doing, online and offline. They're proposing on the first date. I mean, would you actually propose to your future partner via a text? No, you wouldn't. So prospecting online has actually become quite spammy. And we've been learning and applying what we're learning and helping others get better at attraction marketing online to help combat that icky spamminess that's prevalent out there, and to try and counter what we see happening in the network marketing and the MLM industry is that the reputation for this business model is actually being damaged by people who don't do this properly. Um, and we've all had friends that we've pitched or that have pitched us, right? Or presented something to us, haven't we? And that's because many people who dabble in this business have been told the same things. You get your family and friends on board, right? And we don't want to undermine the training that we're receiving from our uplines right now. And we cannot deny the professional network marketers who are Steve and Gina Merritt. They clearly are consummate professionals who have built big businesses. And they've created this amazing system for us to tap into, the This Is It system. And clearly our uplines in Australia, Misha and Tessa, they have successfully applied this system to their businesses, run with it and gone gangbusters. So we're not saying that we shouldn't help our friends and family. In fact, we agree everyone needs to be patched. But I guess what we're trying to impress upon you is that for this training anyway, that we want you to focus on serving people rather than selling to people. And half the reason people start to pressure their friends and start trying to sell too much to their friends and family is because their list isn't big enough. So everything is hanging on signing up these people. And when that pressure is there, that's the icky part. That's the bit that's not doesn't feel right. And that's where attraction marketing comes in and can really help you build pipelines of people to connect with and make your offer to down the line. But you can't go in cold with people. And especially Kiwis hate that. And even our Aussies, I'm sure they hate that too. It just feels horrible. And you can burn your bridges and if you do that too soon with friends and family. So yeah, it's proposing on your first date and it just feels wrong. So what we'll just do quickly here is skirt over what this means, attraction marketing, what this means in a nutshell, for those of you who don't know what it is, or for those of you who would like to do better in attracting prospects online. So we've created a number of courses and taken people through challenges in the past where we show them effectively how to use social media professionally, how to have a profile that helps tell people how you help them, to brand yourself and not just be the rep of LifeWave, so to brand yourself, to find and accept friends who are potential prospects, to train the algorithms, the social media algorithms, especially Facebook, like we say, so that you can actually see and engage with their content, the people you want to see, and how to engage in other people's groups and find your people there and attract them to you there. How to post in a way that creates curiosity, okay, and attracts people to reach out to you rather than presenting them with it all the time and getting crickets. And how to get into DMs, so direct messages, like in Messenger, with new friends and get to know them over time. And then it brings us into what we're going to talk about today, which is getting into the art of conversation in DMs that leads them to your offer. So now, Xander might want to take it.
So look, many of us are comfortable chatting face to face or picking up the phone. And this is just a digital version of that, but with the power to meet people all over the world. And now we're going to talk about how to use Facebook specifically as a lead generation tool without being spammy or awkward. And the only reason we're focusing on Facebook is because that's where we've done our work, and that's a tool that we understand the best. And just please remember, this isn't about selling in the messaging. It's about serving, being human and building a real connection with people first. So remember, don't chase, attract. Okay. So instead of chasing people, attraction marketing helps you become a magnet. You show up online in a way that's consistent and real so that people want to know more. Now, this is a wider strategy we teach inside our program, Rock the Leads, where we cover how to get seen by the right people, how to position yourself as someone who helps, not hounds, and how to warm people up before you ever mention LifeWave. It's like planting seeds. They don't grow overnight, but if you're consistent, your inbox will fill up with people wanting help with the pain, sleep, energy, and more, the things that you're talking about.
So I've been going through a bit of a daily flow, and I decided to put them down into steps. And so here's a snapshot of how I'm personally building my LifeWave business at the moment on Facebook. So 1, every day I am accepting 2 to 3 friend requests, or I'm sending them out myself. I'm initiating friendships. And, Facebook suggests friends, right? So I'll often scan them and I'll reach out to 2 or 3 a day, and I'll find that I get a few every day as well. So I'll scan them and suss them out because I'm always checking out their vibe first. Do we have friends in common? Do we have, similar values and are we aligned essentially? Do they post about health and family and freedom? Because those things are important to me, and I know they're the type of people that I want to attract because they're going to be open to the LifeWave opportunity. And then if I accept their friend requests, or even if they accept mine, when they come up and pop up in Messenger, I will message them straight away. And I'll say something to break the ice, something like, hey, thanks for the friend request. I love connecting with like-minded people on here. Where are you based? Or I see we're into similar stuff. How have the past few years been for you? Sometimes it might simply be, hey, thanks for accepting my friend request. It's really great to connect here. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. I don't need to go into too much, but it will ease into the conversation. And so then I basically get into the conversation with them, and I'll ease that conversation into health and wealth topics when the time seems right, based on what they're saying to me. And then 4, I'll keep that connection warm. Okay, so I'll add them to a list on Facebook, and I'll start following their posts and engaging with their posts so that my name keeps popping up. Either in Messenger or on Facebook, but my name keeps popping up. I keep reacting to their posts and I'm engaging with what they're doing. And then when the time feels right, then I can make the offer. Often they will come to me first. They might see something I have mentioned, or they'll bring up the topic of health, and that leads me nicely into looking at different tools. And then I track everything on the spreadsheet. I have got my list on the spreadsheet, and I'll track things there a few times a week. I'll just get it up to date. I'll look at who's new on the list, who's been patched, or who have I sent info to, or who have I just reached out to and initiated conversation. Which ones am I just talking to versus which ones have I already given information to, versus which ones who are warm leads now and interested in the business, versus ones who have already signed up as brand partners and are actively building with me. So this is a simple and sustainable and totally duplicatable system that I'm doing every day.
And certainly by using the spreadsheet, we can share the spreadsheet and see where each other are up to and hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
So if you're in partnership with somebody or just linking arms and running together, perhaps sharing a spreadsheet is a good way to do that.
Especially when you've got mutual friends.
Yeah. Now, Debbie mentioned the art of conversation, and it is an art. And this something. So if this is something you can learn, it holds you in good stead in a room full of people, or at a party, or online using Facebook Messenger. The idea is to go from stranger to supporter, but it starts with a chat, right? In a world of digital networking, simple art of conversation is still your most powerful tool. You wouldn't walk up to someone at a party and pitch a product right away. So don't do it on Facebook either. So lead with connection, start with shared touch points, and begin naturally. There's some examples here on the screen.
Yeah. See, there's one. Hey, I saw your comment in the frequency medicine group or whatever group was. Love your take on energy work. What drew you into that world? Yeah, so there's different ways you can do it. But this builds a foundation for trust. It's not about conversion. Don't focus on conversion. It's about connection and building these real relationships up. Yeah.
So 3 ways to build trust online. Now, these are all backed by psychology and they work. So the reciprocity principle, offer value without asking for anything first. Ask thoughtful questions like, what's been your biggest challenge with energy levels lately? It's an open question. I'd love to hear your experience with natural approaches to sleep, and leave it open for them to reply. Don't feel like you need to fill the gap with anything. Just wait.
I reached out to a new contact this week, and she mentioned to me straight away that she had an event coming up in Tauranga, and I said, okay, well, let me know the details and I'll share it. So my first encounter with her is I'm serving her, I'm sharing her event and getting new people on board. That's a really great start to a really good relationship online.
As primates, you can get a lot of cues from body language and behavior, which is something you can do face to face, but you can't do online. So this mirror and matching somebody else's behavior online, it'll be the use of emojis or exclamation marks. So if somebody's communicating with you in that sort of less formal way, mirror that.
Yeah.
If they're keeping it highly formal and matter of fact, then mirror that.
Keep it brief. Yeah.
They keep it brief, but just mirror their style, and it'll help build trust.
Yeah, I actually do that in person too. I tend to mimic accents.
You
You
may
know,
notice if you're Irish or American, people start talking to you.
start talking like that with you. But no, so that's a legitimate thing that I do, and I do it online as well. So,
Yeah.
I've got friends that overuses exclamation marks, and so I find I start to overuse exclamation marks when I talk to them.
But it helps build
It
that
does.
rapport and helps with that
Mm.
communication with that person, and that's the important thing.
Yeah.
So active listening. Um, don't skim. Don't be thinking about what your next line is going to be
Yeah.
while they're talking,
Mm.
right? So let them finish and reflect and come back with something meaningful. Now,
Keep digging.
it's much easier to do that if you're messaging because you have time. You have time to think about your
Mm.
response.
Mm.
So it's really important that you don't just dip into your next bag of responses
Mm.
and cut and paste it. Make
Mm.
sure you reflect and further the conversation.
Yeah.
When people feel that they've been heard, they'll trust you.
Yeah.
So Debbie mentioned before, keeping the person warm, keep the conversation alive and meaningful. And there's three E's that can help with this. So empathy, acknowledge where they're at. Um, you know, education. So drop little nuggets of useful information. Make this knowledge freely available. So serve with your knowledge in a supportive and sort of helpful way that's on topic. Um, and be encouraging. So even small steps, we like to feel sort of encouraged and acknowledged along the way, and it helps us want to share more. So simple human interactions build a strong relationship.
So finding the right people, you don't want to force this because actually your time is precious and so is theirs. So we want to gently figure out who's actually aligned with us and ready for what we have to offer, as opposed to those who aren't. So you want to be asking open-ended, heart-based questions. What inspired you to look into natural health solutions, for example? Or where do you see yourself if you get more energy and better sleep in your life? Where do you see yourself? What will you be achieving? What have you already tried? What's worked or not worked for you so far? So they're digging questions, allowing you to get deeper into their world. They share more of their experience already, and you get a better feel for if they're open. Their answers are going to tell you if they're going to be a good product fit, or maybe they'll tell you that they might be a good potential builder, or they'll tell you that maybe they're just a little bit curious. And they'll tell you if you're not aligned, okay? And it's no drama. At least you've built a good connection with them. They'll still be watching what you do in their world, but it might be enough for you to decide, I'm not going to go any further with that person on my list at this stage. And then making the offer. So this is the critical bit, right, that we're all afraid of. So it's really important here to listen for cues. What are their pain points, their goals? What is their readiness like? So make the offer. When you make the offer, you want to do it in a soft, permission-based way and respect their response either way. So when they've shared enough for you to see that there's a fit there, then that's your moment, and seize it. Do it now, as Eric Worre would say. So keep it smooth and relevant. For example, you could say, you mentioned your knee pain makes it hard to keep up with the kids. I actually use something that helps the body activate its own healing. Would you be open to checking it out? If they say yes, great. If not, keep the door open. No worries at all. If anything changes, I'm always here. So remember, you're not trying to win a sale in every interaction. You're building a long game of service and trust. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Want to do this?
Yeah. So stay in touch without being pushy. Most people don't say yes right away. That's normal. And there's science around how many touch points people need to have before they jump in. So all we're trying to do is stay gently on their radar, react to their posts, drop a helpful link now and then, send a kind check-in message. For example, hey, I saw this article on natural energy and thought of you. How's your week going? It keeps the relationship alive and shows you care. And then stay tuned in to those cues, as Debbie mentioned on the previous slide. So when it feels right, hey, can I send you something about this? And wait for that. Try that soft close.
So conversation is absolutely your superpower, and I hope that you've taken away some things today. That one, you don't need to be salesy at all. You just need to be real, kind, and consistent. Messenger chats, they lead to real growth, both in business and in relationships. They really do. And you can do this. You can start small, and you can start today. Every DM, every direct message is an opportunity to serve, not just to sell. And
That's it.
That's a wrap. So
yeah, there's a lot to it.
And as we mentioned, we've developed a few courses along these lines, and we've taken people through challenges. So if you want to know more, just reach out to us. The link here is one of our programs called Rock the Leads. If you want to check it out, feel free. But otherwise, Xander and I are here to help. We could do more of these trainings. If you found this useful, just let us know. And we look forward to helping you build your businesses. And it's great to have you on Team Limitless. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.